Look at this. Wednesday, full crew. Look at these handsome people. Bigfoot Anand Connor just had a birthday over the weekend, and now he's in the 3 zeros. You know, he's becoming more of a man now since he hit that 3-0. I bet he woke up and felt that change, that, you know, kind of like becoming a superhero mutant. Probably just happened right at midnight. You just felt the change. So you're a whole new man.
He got one 3-foot-long gray hair strand now.
Yeah, a decade older, a decade wiser, and a decade slower as well. I feel the creak in my bones now, but that just means I have to wake up and get at it even earlier and harder, and that's what I've been doing these 3 days at the 3-0.
And sometimes you might need more coffee now when you get older to help you wake up. I know I'm getting used to waking up extra early, you know. But man, it's great that you get to you've been on some adventures. That's fun. That's awesome. You came out with a video this week. I think I can't remember, on Monday or Tuesday, that I wasn't even expecting to have one from you, because usually you drop yours a lot of times mostly on the weekend. You drop yours on a Tuesday, I think it was, and that was awesome.
Yeah, I just thought it was cool to capture the moment for my birthday. A lot of my videos, you know, I edit and then leave them for a while. Like, I'm stocked up for months, you know? But this one was, I recorded it, edited it, uploaded it, had it ready the day after my birthday, because I thought it would be cool, you know, to have a birthday celebration. But yeah, it was a little underwhelming on the Tuesday, so I'm like still trying to figure out the formula. So hopefully by next year, we'll have the birthday video kind of locked down and ready, but we'll see.
Your audio's a little choppy, Connor.
Yeah, I forgot to.
Your audio just went crazy. That's weird. There you go. I think let me see.
Say something.
What about now, guys?
Perfect.
Money.
Perfect. That was weird.
The aliens are attacking.
I was about to think for a second that Anthony set up Connor on purpose and sent him a microphone that goes bad, you know, during
Never in
show.
a million years.
No, this thing has been treating me very good. Thank you, man.
No, that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. Hey guys, today's Wednesday, so I thought, you know, Wednesday usually I do some night shows, but because tonight I got a lot of things I got to do, because tomorrow in my area is the first day of school for kids back in my area. They go back to school on a Thursday, which is weird. And then of course tomorrow, myself and my 15-year-old daughter is taking her to a concert with me tomorrow. So we got a 6-hour concert that we're going to tomorrow. Cool. So tomorrow's a lot of excitement. And you know, my daughter's seen some of these bands, and I'm saying, but I got to teach my daughter that, you know what, you could like your, you know, the pop music world is all right, it's cute, okay, but you're gonna see how old school rockers that plays as a band with musicians, with guitars and bass and drums, the way music is meant to be, a band. So that's going to be fun tomorrow. But actors and actresses. So since today is fun, there's a lot of actors and actresses that actually do believe in the ghost and the paranormal and the Bigfoot. But there's something weird about people. And I've seen this a lot yesterday, because you'd be surprised with some of the responses I got from my Reddit, especially my Reddit page. My Reddit page and some comments I actually got for the show yesterday for Ed and Lorraine. It's amazing of how many people that just does not like Ed and Lorraine.
I know. I
mean, I have seen so much hatred, especially on my Reddit page, that these are frauds, these are this. And I'm always wondering, well, how do you know that they're frauds? All because now you get on TV and right, automatically means you're fake now.
Yep.
You're a fraud. You know, when I play some of these actors and actresses in these clips, I know a lot of people are going to hate them, just because people who become famous should not have the right to believe what you believe in. It's a weird thing in society that we hate when famous people like the things that we like. It's the weirdest thing. It's just like you have a favorite band and they come out with an album that actually sold millions of copies, but now they're sellouts.
That's right.
Because they actually had an album that sold more than you think they should sell.
Jealousy.
And I never get it. I never understand that, because if Connor wants to be a full-time investigator, if Connor wants to go out there every single day, he has to find a way to have an income supported than where he has to actually like leave 8-10 hours a day, go to work, then do his investigations at night or weekends, where I wish Connor could do it every single day. But I'm sure if he did, somebody would call Connor a sellout, because he's making money off his own investigations. It's the society. Listen, I had to go back from part-time to full-time because I just couldn't make it and afford it the way things are. But I know if somehow all three of us got millions of subscribers and somehow we get supportive enough where we can go out even more, we will probably be called sellouts.
That's right.
Now, am I going to say that every single actors and musicians are telling the truth? No, I can't do that. I don't know. I mean, none of us really know.
Right.
But I'm going to show you guys some of actors. And this first one is actually, I didn't even know that Rob Lowe had a show on Looking for a Wood Ape.
Yep.
I actually did not know that. So I'm going to play you a clip where Rob Lowe's on a talk show talking about the Wood Ape, and he actually shows clips from it, which I never saw. I never knew. You know, I look at Rob Lowe. Only thing I'm jealous about is how fucking handsome that guy still is at his age. God damn, it's unfair. Nobody has the right to stay that good looking after all those years.
Speak for yourself over there, Mr. Wood.
Man,
We
don't count. I'm joking. Here's Rob Lowe with his close encounter with a wood ape, and then I want to ask Connor, technically, what the hell is a wood ape? Is that a relative of me?
You're crushing it there. So to explain the Bigfoot thing. Sorry, I apologize. The wood ape.
Thank you. We found ourselves 200 miles in the Ozark Mountains where no human being would ever be at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my goodness.
Surrounded by creatures that were making this noise, which was kind of like, oh, 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 oh. And I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying as well.
I'm just saying.
So that happened.
That happened. Huh. And we were with men who were armed.
They were drinking. They were drinking.
No,
no, none of that.
No, because there were weapons.
Sure.
Yes, you would have. Yeah. There's a lot of high-grade artillery.
Oh, really?
And they're like, "We're going hot. We're going," and I was like, "Whoa."
An exclusive clip tonight.
I brought an exclusive clip of our encounter with the wood ape. Now,
the wood ape.
Yeah, it's, it speaks for itself. I'll let you be the judge.
It's an exclusive peek at Rob Lowe and his sons possibly encountering a wood ape in...
Amazing.
Wood ape. The Lowe Files. Take a look at this.
Guy, they just heard panting.
Eyeballs, man. It's got 2 eyeballs.
You ready?
What?
Oh, it's right there.
That's an 8. No, it's coming towards us now. Those are 8.
The 2 eyes right there.
They're moving. They're moving around us, dude. This is not good.
Turn it up. That's an 8. Oh my God, it's moving.
This is gnarly.
It's orange now. It's illuminating a lot.
What? Where the hell are you coming from? What is that light? Those are 3.
That was real.
That's all real. We're not at...
I honestly have never heard of that show. I never even watched it. I didn't know he went on his own hunt. I know a lot of actors do that. I saw Jack Osborne, Bigfoot one with the guy from Clerks.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, from Clerks, and I think he did also on UFO one. But so Connor, have you seen that? And actually, what the hell is the difference between, I don't know, a wood ape, between a skunk ape, a Bigfoot? Is there something different about a wood ape versus other apes?
The wood ape is just another slang term, of course. It definitely is prominent in the Ozark Mountains, but you can even ask Amber's Paraworld. You know, she is familiar with the wood man over in West Virginia. So again, just the name of these creatures definitely fluctuates from where you're at. But yeah, I have seen that, and I think a little bit of it is entertainment. You know, to get all those shots, it does take a whole crew. So it's not as authentic as just Rob Lowe and his sons being out there in the woods. But it's definitely interesting. They keep saying it's apes, it's apes. That's all they could repeat. Maybe they're trying to push there being animals instead of these mystical beings that could actually mate with human beings. But regardless, it's on Jimmy Fallon and it is spreading the word. So I'm big on it. And he stood strong on his two legs. He didn't, make a joke about it. I appreciate it all. It was very interesting. And it made me laugh too. It was very entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, they can't, like I said, I don't know if he's really been into it. He was offered to do a show and now he's into it. I mean, I can't tell you that, but hey, if he is, more power to you. And to stay strong and say what you heard and try to back up on camera to millions of people to say, in a lot of ways, he does believe in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could see, I'm trying to think, if Anthony was a Bigfoot, if he ever played a Bigfoot, would he be like a wood ape? Would he be a brown Bigfoot? Would he be a gray Bigfoot? What kind of Bigfoot
I think I could play both colors. I think I'm talented enough to do both colors, gray and brown, I think. What do you think, Connor? Gray and brown?
Yeah, I think you're even capable of more. So I want to see Amber through the next wormhole.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to understand this comment from Dog Face Boy. Nice boobs, Eric. I'm like, where's the boobs? Is he talking about the Bigfoot next to Anthony? I mean, I guess his chest is like this. I mean, he's showing something right there. Is that the boobs he's talking about? Or is it the alien boobs?
I'm not sure.
I was actually looking on my screen like, where's the boobs?
The word boob is like crazy because if you read it like B, it looks like boob from the side, and then O looks like I'm from the straight up, and then B again looks like I'm from the side. So it's like a total visual word.
There's a word for that when it's the same forward and backward. I can't remember the name though.
But like visually, it is too.
Yeah,
The letters look like it. Just the shapes of them.
Well, I guess saying the word boobs, I guess you consider this next actress a very, she's a very sexy actress. I know a lot of people are not gonna listen to her because, she's a gorgeous person. I mean, I can't, what can I say? Megan Fox. Megan Fox has talked several times on different networks on her beliefs.
She's a little spoused in my book. She likes to drink blood and shit, man.
She might be a witch herself.
Yeah, she thinks she's a vampire.
There's actors and actresses who said that kind of, yeah, there are. What about what's her name? Was married to Brad Pitt before.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, she used to carry some blood of her ex-husband,
Billy Bob. So they're known. It's just that you probably be surprised how many people might be watching us. That 30% of them might carry some blood or something. It's just
to each his own. However, when it comes to the celebrities and the whole adrenochrome thing, I don't know, it kind of freaks me out a little bit thinking about it,
Scary stuff.
This one is Megan Fox, and a lot of these are really fast clips.
When was the last time somebody didn't believe your words and they were actually true? That's a good thing, actually.
I can't say it's not in the same way, but I'm always on a kick about, I'm either talking about some sort of spiritual thing or something metaphysical or something new age or paranormal, or I like to, those are the subjects I'm into, and I think a lot of people just roll their eyes because they think that I'm silly, that those things are silly. So I experience that a lot.
But you haven't proved any of them that you were right on a lot of those things yet. I said yet.
Right. That's why I'm saying I don't have an exact example, but I have a lot of examples where I talk very seriously about alien abductions.
Let me say that, so alien, but if Bigfoot were to walk in this room right now, you would do a lot of I told you so's, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Now you can tell right off the bat, the other guy, he doesn't believe in any of it. Because when he's kind of making that joke, like if Bigfoot comes walking by, kind of like in a way where you know Bigfoot's not, you're going to say, I told you so. So you could see one guy who's totally not into none of it. And, you know, I don't know Megan Fox. I don't know how she is in real life, but she has talked several times. And, you know, I appreciate any actors and actresses that come out and say, you know, they're into it. And she's also into the spiritual side. I don't know if that is dealing with the blood stuff that you're talking about. I never heard about the blood thing, but I have heard actors and actresses doing that. And I've heard some actors and actresses like to rub certain kind of blood on their skin because it supposedly makes them look younger and does something to their bodies. I mean, I've heard a lot of people with
Sandra
money,
Bullock,
not just
Jared
actors
Leto.
and actresses, people that have a lot of money that do that kind of stuff. First of all, I'm not putting nobody's blood on me.
Hell no.
You know? But think about it. Now, Anthony, if you can't put blood on you, and if there is some truth about some people's blood, I don't know, maybe that gets absorbed in you, would it be weird to put Connor's blood on us? Because will we get his energy, like that instant high energy, if we put Connor's blood on us?
I don't know, but Connor, what time can you come over, buddy?
Yeah. Hey, I'm flowing, man. I'm flowing. But Megan Fox did have her own TV show that she actually went and investigated crazy legends all around the world, and it was really taken serious. She's very educated, you know. She did take a little dark turn with MGK, but hopefully that is just those two. But MGK, actually, I've opened up for him, and he agreed to do a charity show for my sister when she was in a coma. So he's not all bad like the press.
Nobody's saying they're bad, and I respect that guy. But did you hear when Megan Fox said he broke a glass bottle and tore his chest open? And he was like, "Drink my blood," and she was all into that shit. She was like, "Ah," and I was like, "That was freaky, man."
That's love.
That is love. She actually did a very underrated horror movie that she did. I thought was very underrated. She made a movie called Jennifer's Body, which I thought was I thought it was actually really good, but a lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was one of the better ones. You know,
don't get me wrong, she's smoking hot, man. The minute I seen her in Transform, I must have watched Transformers about 30 times.
I think she was in the first two, and then
smoking hot.
Oh yeah. Michael Bay was famous for finding actresses. I think his number one thing of finding the actress, and he said this on air. This ain't me accusing him of anything. He liked actresses that had like no stomach, like just he looked at the stomach. He wanted slim type of stomach, and he did. He wanted, because his shot.
Well, I'm never getting hired by this guy, is what you're trying to say, Eric.
yeah. If we're being hired, I guarantee they're gonna have us keep our clothes on. You know, or otherwise they're not gonna sell the movie. Now, one of my favorite actors is, I'm sorry, I have to believe everything this guy says, is I love Keanu Reeves.
Love
Keanu Reeves. I grew up with Keanu Reeves all through history, with him playing Bill and Ted, which his last Bill and Ted movie was fucking horrible. I have to say that one with his kids are the ones who make the song. Fucking stupid storyline. Don't know how that happened, but fucking John Wick. Hey, if somebody kills your dog, you're going after that motherfucker. Especially when your wife on her dying bed gave you a dog to help you out. I don't blame him for coming out of retirement.
Bro, anybody, family, my dogs, close friends, you're done. Run. Run.
So this is Keanu Reeves. Have you ever seen a ghost?
Have you ever seen a ghost?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
In Hawaii?
No, it was in New York.
Really?
It was cool.
What happened?
Okay, quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like a little kid. I'm probably like 6, 7 years old in a new apartment. And we just come from, where did we come from? We had come from probably Australia. Anyway, so Renata, nanny, in the bedroom. She's sitting, my sister's asleep. She's sitting over there. I'm like hanging out. There's a doorway. All of a sudden, we're looking over there, and this like jacket comes waving through the doorway. Like just an empty, there's no head, there's no body, there's no legs. It's just there. And then it disappears. And I was a little kid, and I thought, okay, well, that's interesting. And then I looked over at the nanny, and she's like this. And I'm like, oh, wow, so that was real. Oh, okay.
You know, and I get what he's talking about. Like I said, when I saw my person walk into the elevator disappear, and you're like, was that real? You know? And some people's reaction would be scared, but your reaction might be like, oh, that was a ghost. I mean, that's like a true reaction. I mean, I believe the guy. I believe him 100%.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. He's a very humble, respectful guy, you know.
No, you're right.
Some people do say he's a vampire as well. There's pictures out there from like the 16th century, and Keanu Reeves is in there.
Pictures like that with
I love those.
I love those. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's the man.
But I mean, in New York, you see that guy taking the bus. I mean, he's a very humble person. His sister was very sick with cancer. He paid all her medical treatment out of pocket. And he does that for strangers too in need. I mean, he's a wonderful guy.
And he also played in one of the best vampire movies ever made, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Ah, phenomenal movie.
Which, you know, with Gary Oldman. As I remember when they first said Gary Oldman playing Dracula. Gary Oldman from Sid and Nancy? Wow. That's a... Because I remember at that time, I remember Gary Oldman from Sid and Nancy, which he was Sid Vicious. And, you know, finding out that he's playing Dracula, and my God, he was the most perfect Dracula. That look, that smoothness, you know, and Keanu Reeves was in it. Winona Ryder, of course, Winona Ryder, Keanu Reeves has a history, which, you know, they're awesome movies together, and you know, and Winona Ryder is known for some weirdness in her life too.
Beetlejuice,
of course, Beetlejuice, Stranger Things, and all that.
Stranger Things, yeah.
Now, here's going to be a question for everybody in the chat, because the next one is about Kesha, which technically, guys, I'm sorry, I don't know too much about Kesha. I know she's pretty popular in the pop music world. Kesha slept with the ghost. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Kesha slept with the ghost. And I asked this question before, a long time ago, when I had a video that Bobby Brown said that he himself has slept with the ghost. And I've always asked the question, is sleeping with a ghost considered cheating? Because it is.
I hope not.
It is technically having sex with energy, right? It's not like the person's alive.
Well,
I mean,
you have incubus and succubus, so I mean, if it falls on those lines, there's really nothing you could do to, you know, stop it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
So is it really considered cheating? So everybody in the chat, tell me, is sleeping with a ghost cheating? Yes or no? Here we go.
Okay, no, we're not going to do that. You said, I have to ask you this, you're telling me out of time that you've slept with a ghost. I have to ask you, have you slept with a ghost?
I did go to the Bone Zone with a ghost.
Lucky ghost.
I mean, do you want details?
Yes! Ghost of who? Was it a ghost of a famous person? Was it like...
I mean... I don't know his name, but he was in my house.
You don't know his name?
Well, he's a ghost, and so he just started, like, caressing me like this.
Oh. This story's getting better. And so then things proceeded from there.
Right, it was a sexy time. It wasn't like sex.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't even know the guy's name.
Hey, listen, if you're gonna come out and say it's one thing to come out and say you believe in it, and saying that you actually had some love times with one, that's bravery. I don't know her.
Well, I
don't know
bro.
if she's considered crazy in real life or not. I don't know, but still, to come out and say you slept with a ghost, I give her balls for that.
I'm just saying, after watching that, I can't wait to die and become a ghost, man. That's all I'm saying.
There's actually a female researcher down here in this state that has had an encounter with a ghost or a demon that she slept with too, and the story's pretty raunchy. But I've never heard her say it on any radios or anything, so I can't out her. But someone down here in Florida,
There's
pretty
many
wild.
encounters of that, man. Dan Aykroyd put that in Ghostbusters because it was a real encounter that someone had told him, and he ended up putting that in Ghostbusters.
And I was trying to find that. I was trying to find him saying that because I remember that story and I couldn't find it. I was trying to find a clip because that scene was a real scene for him that the ghost went. I don't know. I'm not trying to be. I know it's a family-friendly show. Went down on him, but like I said, is that considered cheating? Anthony of Identified S4 says no. David says no. Suzanne says no. Dina P says no. Only if you initiate it. That's a good one because I'm thinking to myself, how would you initiate of trying to get freaky with the ghost? Is it putting your arm around it, putting your arm through it? I mean, there's different levels of a ghost. Does a ghost have to be almost like fully there to try to get? What's the process of that with the ghost?
Tori Spelling in a Scary Movie 2. She gets it on with the ghost, and the ghost has her like on all fours on the ceiling, man. So it's pretty wild.
And it's called a drug. And I know that some people get almost hypnotized with the ghost, kind of like Dan Aykroyd in Ghostbusters was a little hypnotized a little bit that he wasn't technically all in his right mind. So if he was married, it's not his fault, right? Could you call a Me Too movement on us three guys if we're known to be not nice to ghosts? Can we get in trouble?
They're going to start a Me Too movement on ghosts.
I sent it to you on WhatsApp, Eric. Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, you found it?
I found the article on it.
Let me see here. Let me pull it up.
Donnie Cho, new member, my brother. Way to be.
Yeah, he's actually been a member before, so glad to have him back. Always glad to have Donnie back.
Skynet hacked him.
But even though he was a member before, he is
welcome
now.
back.
I don't get to show this almost at all to the point where I almost don't know where it is anymore. Oh, I found it. I haven't played that in so long. I almost forgot where that was at. So thank you, Donnie, for helping me find that. So let's see here. So that happened. It says right here, big title says, so that happened. Dan Aykroyd got a blowjob from a ghost in Ghostbusters. For the most part of the history TV, wonderful, larger than life. Are you really excited? Okay. Of course he's excited.
I'll drop it in the chat for everyone.
Yeah, pop it in the chat because I know it's in here. Let me see here. Oh, our heroes finally get much deserved break, but it doesn't last long. While he was sleeping, he dreamed about a beautiful. Okay, here we go. Dan Aykroyd. While he's sleeping, he dreams about a beautiful ghost woman who has been dead for hundreds of years. Now I'm wondering. That's crazy in its own. And if you think about it, I mean, you're sleeping, you're dreaming about a ghost from hundreds of years ago. I mean, why are you dreaming about this ghost from 100 years ago? Who is this ghost? Was he like looking at a Ghost Hustler magazine or something? Or is there what's that? I forgot that book they always called it in Ghostbusters. That why was this ghost that he was dreaming about? I mean, how did he get this image of this ghost in his head? I like to know that question. We got to get Dan Aykroyd on the show. we got so many questions. We got to ask Dan Aykroyd.
I've been trying, man. I got his personal office number, man. I've been trying.
But Anthony, you said all we need is $100,000. We could get him on the show.
Yeah, $100,000. Well,
I think with the people in our chat, we could raise.
He might come on for free. I mean, I'm working on it, Eric. But yes, they're looking for 100. The people that manage him are looking for 100 G's. So,
God damn,
it's crazy. Tommy Chong, from Cheech and Chong, he does podcasts for free.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like Dan Aykroyd, 100 G's.
I'm
Here
trying.
we go. So far, so good. She then proceeds to go down on him, and we see a movie that you would expect. That's no fake, but there is an unzipping moment, and one of the most uncomfortable orgasm face that's ever been filmed. Really? That's considered uncomfortable? There it is. That's Ghost in action. How is that possible? The most constant play with different ways of living can interact with ghosts. The ghostly wet dream is essentially just another extension of the joke. A really awkward version that simply has too much and not enough. So in it is a bizarre way. Man, I love Ghostbusters. There it is. There's the ghost.
At least she's hot.
Yeah. She'd get me too.
I mean, look at him. Good actor. He's dazed. He's like confused, like, oh my God. What is this? What is this? Man, we've really gone off the rockers.
I like how they have the ISS space station hair. Anthony, you see that girl?
Now, here's another actress who's considered crazy to some people too. Kristen Stewart admits believing in ghost cats. So awesome. She believes in ghost cats, and she's another one that people have said she's kind of crazy too.
Kind of believes in void cat.
I think she was the one that she was having an affair, but I think a Disney director had an affair with her. I can't remember. Some director of a movie had an affair with her. Not her. She was having. No. She was dating Batman.
Rob Pattinson.
Yeah, she was dating him at the time. So, and she cheated on him with a director who was married. So maybe there you go. There's a ghost connection right there.
Anytime there was a cat running across set, anytime there was something strange that happened, it felt spooky, ghosty. Yeah. Like just it felt pregnant, felt like full of something that was sort of we had this great responsibility and maybe that's just like in our heads and we're making it up, but there was shit going down that made no sense. And I was like, there she is. Yeah,
like
totally.
Spooky?
Yeah, there were just moments that we were like,
you
felt her, yeah.
I mean, you did Personal Shopper, so I have to ask, you must believe in ghosts.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, that's actually what I do. Yeah. We're not making movies, really. We're just like ghost hunters. Yeah. It's like, I was just there, and this cat was like.
There you go. Okay. She said, she says she believes in ghosts, and why?
A lot of celebrities believe in the paranormal, cryptids, UFOs. I mean, you'd be surprised how many celebs are really into this stuff, just as deep as us.
For sure.
Yeah.
She actually has a paranormal show coming out too. I remember mentioning that I applied for it like probably 6 weeks ago now. But it's an LGBTQ plus show, and I put for my role I'm an ally in the community, and I haven't got an email back. So Kristen, come on, bring me on.
The only thing that pisses me off about celebrities getting into the UFO ghost cryptid world is they take all, the subscribers away. They don't go out in the field and study anything. They're just regurgitating stories that we go out and investigate. That's the only thing that aggravates me about that.
Wow. I was trying to find an article, what ghost show she's coming out. This is the title of the story. Kristen Stewart is making the gayest ghost hunting show ever. Kristen Stewart, executive producer, producing a ghost hunting series, and asked for queer historians, mediums, and more submit applications to star in the show. So yeah,
See, I think they need some like straight fun energy though on the show. I think I would be like a comic relief. Like they could all honestly make fun of me and I could be the butt of the joke. But nah, I don't think they had the balls to do it. But maybe I'll get an email.
Yourself, man, you're too intelligent for that. Be the butt of anybody's joke.
You know, Anthony, I know what you're saying, because I remember during the highlight, not the highlight, but during the tip of the COVID-19 sickness, and where everybody was home, more actors and actresses ever before flooded social media, flooded YouTubes, and of course they got all the subs. Everybody jumps on them, and it's like everything they say was real. Everything we say, we're considered. Oh, these guys don't know what they're talking about. They're crazy.
Eric, come on, guys. Connor, Demi Lovato in the UFO world. She was singing her song to aliens. I mean, and people ate that shit up. I mean, if you can't see through that bullshit, I mean, come on, man.
It's sad. It's honestly sad to see, and they get all the push. Even like respectable celebrities that are knee deep in it, they're still stealing the algorithm from us, and it's sad.
Right, because then when you go search for UFO, ghost, cryptid, they're the first ones that pop up. We're all the way down below. That sucks, because we're out there doing all the work, and these people have a whole team of producers, editors, choreographers, endless funds. We rely on the donations of our chat to try to make something good. Like I just had to suspend Extraterrestrial City documentary, being that Andy got a job. I got nobody to help me do it, and now I got to put that out another 6 months. I got to wait. I got to hire like professional people. It's going to cost me thousands of dollars now to do, and I got to do it because I promised. So it's just
all these people got to do is just show up.
All they got to do is show up, be a pretty face, and everything's taken care of for them.
Yeah,
and if that's not bad enough, they get monetized overnight. They go live, and then everybody throws money at them like they need it. You know what I mean? Right. Ridiculous.
Yeah, like I like Jack Osbourne. I got nothing against him.
I like them all.
He's on so many paranormal Bigfoot shows and all that, and they just get thrown to him, and he gets to jump on whatever he kind of wants. And we all know it's because he's the son of Ozzy Osbourne. He had his own TV show, and Connor would be so awesome on a show, but no offense, he'll get passed over for Jack Osbourne, who doesn't even have 1% of knowledge of what Connor has.
No. I reached out to Jack Osbourne too. I emailed his agency like 4 times just to come on the show. I said, I know you're extremely busy. Even if you can come on for 5 minutes and just say hello to everybody, I would really appreciate it.
Well, you should, right? Because listen, I told you I had a dream. I had a dream that I was with Jack Osbourne.
Yeah.
I had a dream. People remember this in the chat. I said, I don't know why. I had a dream that an uncle of Jack Osbourne died. He needed somebody to go with him to do the will reading. And he got like $70,000. He wanted more. And for whatever reason, they gave me $10,000. Then Sharon Ozzy came out and says, you deserve that $10,000. He wanted you to have it. And I said, hey, Sharon, I'm going to Ozzy's concert this weekend. And she wouldn't give me no first row tickets or anything. That was my dream. Don't know why.
Dude, wouldn't it make sense for these celebrities to come on our shows? We're the heart of these communities.
Yeah.
We're the investigators. We're the people boots on the ground out in the field doing the research so they can even have a show. It's our UFO ghost and cryptid footage that they use to talk about. So why not come to us to get the
because we don't have a strong enough following for them to even come to us. They have to go. They'll go to the ones that have millions.
YouTube shouldn't even show how many subscribers people have. So then people can determine how good or bad you are by your show quality. Right. It shouldn't go by numbers. That's
why I'm glad they got rid of the dislike button too, so people can't bully that. They still have it, but it's not visible. Right. Because people would bully, and then if you got more dislikes, people don't even have a chance, and the content could be great.
Back when they used to do that, people, you would be in an argument with somebody that have all their subscribers go give you a thumbs down. Some people are soft-hearted. They're like, oh man, all these people don't like me. That's a bad, terrible feeling to give somebody, and then they quit.
I Hold on,
cool.
Brown Dwarf. I had a here we go with the dreams. I had a dream with Justin Timberlake once. It was cool. Totally respect the guy now. Okay, Brown Dwarf. I gotta ask you, what was cool about it? What would you do with Justin Timberlake in this dream? Was he just? I've heard Justin Timberlake in real life is a really cool guy to have a beer with.
They made a big.
I heard nothing but good things about him. But did you go on a hunt with them? Did you have a beer with them? He didn't try to touch you, did he? In your dream? Because if he does, we'll bring him down.
He didn't pull a Bill Cosby on you, did he?
Okay, guys. Now this one is like it's almost a 4-minute video. Now, this is William Shatner. Okay. Now we all know when William Shatner gets asked a question, he goes in full William Shatner mode. There is a mode. He just can't answer a question, a simple question. Do you believe in UFOs? He goes into this like William Shatner, Captain Kirk mode. It is. Hey, I give the guy credit. However he does it, the man always gets himself a show. He's always a host, reading folk music, whatever it is. The man finds a way to keep himself busy, and it doesn't matter what people think of him. Somehow he's the genius of always having a show. He's got a show right now on Netflix. And it was like one of the top 10s, Exploring the Unknown. He just says a few lines the way he does it. But this is him being interviewed by Larry King. Does William Shatner believe in UFOs?
Writing a sci-fi novel about UFOs?
Yes.
Why the hesitation, William?
Well, because the hesitation is this. Do you remember a man by the name of Johnny Mack?
Johnny Mack, why is that?
Johnny Mack was a psychiatrist, tenured professor at Harvard, was given by a friend of his the opportunity to interview some of the people who said, we've been abducted by UFOs. After 200 interviews, he concluded they were right. He lost...
They were abducted.
That's his conclusion. And he almost lost his tenure at Harvard. His wife and he lost his wife and children over it. And he walks out of the door not too long after that, and he's hit by a hit-and-run driver and killed.
I'm going to pause it for a second, and we're going to go further into it. But I did like that story he said right there, because he is correct. People who have these certain kind of high jobs, when they come out and did their study, I don't know who's this guy. I never heard of this guy he's talking about,
John
but
Mack.
This guy made a study, and apparently he says these groups were abducted to what he saw, and almost lost his job, almost lost his wife and kids because of everything, just because he did his job and came to the determination that these people were abducted. A lot of pilots see things. I know there's a lot of pilots in the military that see things that can't say it, because once they know, if they think you're kind of going crazy up here, especially you're flying, you're out. I bet you Anthony could tell you stories that a lot of police officers around the world can't fully come out and say what they saw, especially if you're in your prime of your career. Maybe if you're at the end where you don't give a fuck about people no more, you can say whatever you want. But when you're in your prime, especially if you got a family to feed, I'm sure, Anthony, I don't know, but what all the connections you have with police officers, do you think there's things that they maybe have seen that they have to keep to themselves?
Absolutely. Not so much that they have to keep to themselves, but that they choose to keep to themselves due to not, harming their job. You go back to the command and you tell like your captain or your deputy inspector, hey, I was just doing a boat rescue out in the harbor and I seen a craft come out of the sky and go into the ocean. You're going in for a psych eval, So some guys keep their mouth shut for those things. I wouldn't doubt cops, seeing ghosts. I happen to know a cop that ended up doing a high-profile paranormal show that was on the History Channel and the Discovery Channel. So a lot of cops do see things, and then when they retire, they go out in the field and they start their own investigating companies.
Because at that time, you know, who cares what people think? It's not like actors and actresses, when they do it, you automatically just kind of like, oh, they're kind of crazy. You know, we don't pay that kind of attention to them. You know, that's just the world we live in. But when it's a business person, a CEO, management, I mean, listen, I even know what company I work for. You know, if you believe in this kind of stuff and these kind of shows, that you can't really mention it because some of these people high up in your companies will try to find a way to get rid of you because they don't think you're fit to run people because of what you believe in. That's the world. So I get what he's saying here because he's like almost saying, I do want to say I believe in the UFOs, but this is why I really don't say it because this is what happens to this guy. But here's more. There's a lot more.
His conclusion was UFOs are on another plane, another reality. They may not be the meteors we see that we think are UFOs. They may be in microphysics, sometimes the act of observing brings about the event. Are you aware of that?
I got it. I'm not aware of it.
Right. But so there may be a photon of light that doesn't exist that suddenly comes into existence while you're examining it and then goes off in another direction and ceases to exist. There's the principle being that there is such a mystery of what we puny human beings have no knowledge of. There are other universes. We think that the limits of light is what there is, so that the universe is 13.5 billion years old. And what happened before 13.6 billion years?
So you're writing a novel about this?
Well,
what are you doing?
The concept that if the UFOs may be products of another reality, that leads you into a mystery.
So you're writing about it?
Right.
Do you think there are UFOs?
Why are you hesitating, Bill? What I didn't see Johnny Mack ask in the readings that I've done, maybe I got more to do, is what are they doing? Why have they abducted the secretary over at Universal and examined her and taken an egg and fertilized it and got a hybrid?
Why haven't they abducted a president?
That's the question. Why aren't they? Why don't they just display? You know, which is the question you ask about God. Why doesn't Jehovah is here? You know,
where?
Well, so what?
I'm going to pause it for 1 second because I don't like that kind of part of it when they're saying, well, why hasn't this person been abducted? The question is, how do you not know? Listen, if you're a president of the United States of America and you got abducted, just say this. Let's just play what if he gets abducted by aliens. Do you really truly think the next day the vice president or the speaker of the House, whoever speaks, going to come out and say, oh yeah, by the way, last night Barack Obama got sucked into a spaceship, or Donald Trump got laid with a ghost up in space. They did stuff to him. No, they will not come to the air because they'll think the president and all these government people are crazy and they'll lose their job. So not everybody comes out with their stories of now. Unfortunately, the stories that do come out might sound like it's more from, I guess, when people look into society, the poor people of the world. I don't want to say we're poor, but you know, we're not in that high class Beverly Hills club that can open and come out and say that we had. It's easier to put it on somebody. Then it's easier to say, oh, that fucking guy's crazy. He's not nobody important. Right. You know, I mean, that's just. So I always hated that because we don't know. I bet you if there a magic number came out and said how many people that were abducted versus the people that have said they were, I bet you it would be 50% higher than we think it is. In my opinion.
Hey man, I had more than one abduction experience. I'm not crazy. I was a state cop. I mean, I had to go through psych evals before I even got the job. So there's plenty of people that had these experiences. There's more people that had them and forgot than there is people that remembered. You know, there's a lot of people that had this experience, and there's a lot of people that don't want to talk about it because it's freaky. But John Mack, the Harvard psychiatrist, he went through all the steps on that. For years, he investigated this. I mean, he went in such detail. He has so many books on this, and there's so many documentaries about John Mack. He keeps calling him Johnny Mack, but it's John Mack. And then he got killed. He stepped out into the street and got hit by a car and killed while he was in the prime of his investigating. So that's even more skeptical to me. Like, wow, this guy ended up getting killed after talking about this stuff.
You think maybe there's some funny business?
What's
you
that?
think there might have been in some funny business here because he was too
man. Maybe somebody took him out because he was getting too close to the truth. You know, that shit happens.
They display.
For sure.
It makes you think, right? It really makes you think. So,
remember Phil Schneider? He said he got into a battle in the deep underground military bases with aliens, got his chest blown up, his fingers all burned up, and then they found him in his house with a catheter wrapped around his neck, asphyxiated himself to death, and they tried to blame it on suicide. Nobody could tie a catheter and kill themselves sitting in a wheelchair. I mean, nobody could sit there and withstand that. You know, you would, you know, no matter what, you try to kill yourself like that, you're going to try to rip it off to catch your breath. I mean, you just can't kill yourself like that unless you hang yourself, God forbid. But
yeah,
he was murdered.
He was murdered. You know, these things, they happen. It's sad.
And some people's abductions is a lot of it they remember in dreams. You definitely ain't gonna go on air and tell the world that you think you've been abducted through dreams. They really think you're freaking nuts.
I don't care. I do it all the time. That's my theory, that you get abducted in your dreams. That's my entire theory. That
I agree with you.
Through your consciousness. I strongly believe that.
And of course, they're going to be able to wipe your memory or give you false memory. So, like you said, all the people, if the people could come forward, they would. If they could, or if they could remember it, they might.
Many stories where people were abducted and put into a dream state, where they were shown a comfortable scenario in front of them so they wouldn't freak out. 1 minute you're on a craft, the next minute they've put this visual effect in front of you that makes you think you're back home in the comfort of your family, and you're not. They're doing all this crazy shit to you, man. I've had some crazy experiences, man.
Looks like we got a new person watching the show called Mandy and Candy. She wrote, "Hello, what is this about? I don't understand." We're just saying how Captain Kirk is saying, you know, how come certain people don't get abducted? We don't hear it, you know, that I'm not. We're just talking about how I think that's bullshit because a lot of these people have been abducted. They're just not going to say it because they'll lose more
credibility
than they will gain. You think a president is going to make a book off a ghost book, making a ghost book? No, he makes more money doing speeches at colleges than off of a book. So, but here's a bit more.
You do catch almost every president talking about that UFOs are real.
Yeah. Once they leave office.
Yeah.
Once they leave office. But they have to leave office first because usually most of the time they're already up in that age anyway. So once they are done, but we all know Biden is an alien himself. He hasn't abducted. He probably is abducting people.
No toll.
And what is the intent? If they're not displaying, if they're hiding, and they get this guy in a swamp in Florida.
Why do they go to Casper Springs, Wyoming?
Right.
And they don't go to New York City?
Because Casper has got a capital C. You don't know. That's crazy. Why do they do that? If there's an...
And he also said they don't go to New York. What?
Yes, they do. I film them all the time.
I'm like, Anthony, my boy down there lives in New York, and he catches these all the time. So, so you know...
Attention. If they've had the intelligence that there's little green men, little gray men with big armament here, so... Are they a product of us? There's a mystery here. Yes. When a mind like Johnny Mack can say, this happened, there's too much community in these people who've said they've been abducted, there's too much emotional baggage, something is happening. What is it? That's the question. So do UFOs exist? It depends on what you mean exist.
You know, that's Captain Kirk on how he never really truly answers the question.
No,
but the man's he's a salesman. He really is a salesman, and he did all that so you could buy his book and try to get an understanding of what he believed. He never really answered the question and all that. And I'm not here to tell you need to believe the guy or not. I'm not, but he said some interesting things in there that I agree with and some things I don't agree with. Come on. His solution for the water problem in California was to run a pipe all the way to the state of Washington because we apparently get enough rain and we could just pipe it down to California. Most of our water comes from snow, not the rain itself. So it can rain all the time. You don't get your water. It's from the amount of snow that you get. And believe it or not, even though Washington is considered more of a rainy state, we've always been on the edge of not having enough water for everything. Just like any other state, even though we're not as brown as California. So I'm not here to tell you to believe everything he says or not, because he does say things that he can't. He's just like, that's the solution? Put a pipe to us? Pump water down to California? No. You want to fix California? Honestly, part of the thing is California is too big of a state. You should really, truly cut that state in half and have two state governors. It's just too big. It's too big of a state. They should cut in half. The reason they don't, because LA will lose all their water, because most of their water and stuff comes from the valley and up north, and they lose more up in the south part of California if they split it in half. But that's a whole nother political story. But guys, you ever heard of a wrestler called Brendan Schaub?
Yeah, UFC fighter.
UFC fighter. Okay.
And he's a comedian.
Okay, and he's a podcaster and everything.
Yep.
Here's a clip of him. They asked him a question. Does he believe in Bob Lazar? And I'm not here to tell people if you guys like him or not. That's up to you. But I'm going to give Brendan Schaub in this clip credit for what he thinks of him, because he's telling you what he thinks of him. Even if you agree with him or not, I kind of respect when people come out and give their honest opinion about a certain people. Here we go.
And Eric, Brendan Schaub was in the NFL before he was in the UFC. Pretty cool.
Oh, what team did he play for?
I'm not sure. He didn't last long. I could look it up real quick.
No,
but this is Pat McAfee, the best punter ever. And he left the NFL to become a podcaster, and everybody said he was crazy. But now he has the #1 sports podcast in the world, and he really showed it to all them, his naysayers. So Pat McAfee for the brand.
The average career of an NFL player is 3 years or less. Crazy. 3 years or less. And when you're a rookie, I mean, it's a lot of money to us. It's pennies on a dollar what they make. So if there's an opportunity to be a podcaster and make some dough, that is the right decision.
Hell yeah.
But here we go.
Obviously,
seen them all.
Good friend of yours, Rogan, did the Lazar thing. How do you feel about it?
So,
oh, wait a minute. That was a deep guess. You don't believe Lazar? You think he's a liar? You think this whole thing's fake? Wait a fucking minute. On record, you're saying that?
I think Lazar's full of shit.
Why, is it because this guy Jeremy was with him and tried to out Rogan?
That guy Jeremy was completely full of shit. Hey, he should have never been on there.
Him trying to out Rogan at the one point after he had the glass of whiskey was awesome. That was my favorite part of the whole thing.
That guy ruined the thing. I
only talked like 4 times. A lot of people were tweeting me like, "Oh, if it wasn't for the bearded fuck, that would have been the best."
That guy should just shut the fuck up. I like Lazar. But so I didn't look anything into it. I'm not a big alien guy, conspiracy guy. So when I went into it and I was like, oh, this is dope. I was like, this is dope. And I was like, there's fucking aliens. Yeah. There's aliens. This guy's worked on them, dude. This is nuts.
Out there. Yeah.
Right? They're there. So I get done, and then I was still convinced for about 2 or 3 days. But then people start sending me like articles and all this stuff. And you look more into it.
No, you don't read those.
You're just going to fully buy in?
Propaganda, bro. That's propaganda.
Yeah, I don't read those articles. I got them sent to me as well. I read them.
I read them, man. Because I don't know, that Lazar guy, like a lot of stuff he says doesn't really doesn't track where he went to school.
Oh, it's because the government was trying to ruin him.
Yeah, I guess, man. I guess. And he's the
Brendan, you're more woke than this, bro.
I'm woke on some things.
You are more woke than this.
You believe Lazar?
I just believe in aliens.
I know he had a high-level job in that industry, so he had to go to school somewhere. So the fact that they can't find any education history on him at all
He
is
had
a
to
little
be
weird.
educated by
You don't
somebody.
just take somebody's word on it that they're.
And there's a
chemist.
newspaper article about him working at that Los Alamos post that they say they never worked there.
Yeah, listen. I think some of it. You know, I don't know where I'm at.
Real, bro.
I'd be more impressed if he was that good of a liar.
That's what I said too.
I would love him if he.
Yeah, like I feel like Rogan pretty good at dissecting somebody and picking them apart. I felt like, aside from the migraine thing, that
was strange.
35 minutes in.
Well, no, but all of it, like you'd like. So, what exactly the alien looked like? You're like, God damn, my head hurts, dude.
I'm trying to remember.
I'm sorry. What were we talking about? So, anyways, when I was in New Mexico, that was shady.
Unacknowledged is another documentary you can watch.
What's that one about?
Aliens. Just want to let you know, I'm all in on the aliens. All out on the Bigfoot. All in on the aliens.
All out on Bigfoot. Dude, documentaries that get me, man. I'll watch them. I feel like an expert, and I will fucking drop some knowledge.
What's your favorite?
We had a friend that became a vegan.
Oh, I'm sure.
Now, let me ask you a question, Anthony, and I'm going to be flat out honest with people. I know the name Bob Lazar. I know he's got a lot of videos on Discovery Plus channel and all that. But I don't follow Bob Lazar. I don't follow him. I don't study
Lazar.
him.
Bob Lazar.
I don't follow this guy. So Anthony, who is Bob? Is there some truth into this Bob, or what is he? What is he? What's his reputation? Kind of like Ed Lorraine reputation in the paranormal. Some people think they're frauds. They're all for the money. What do people think about Bob?
Bob Lazar was a chemist. He started off building rocket cars out of his garage. Then he alleged that he worked at all these top secret facilities like Los Alamos and Area 51, and that when he arrived at Area 51, they had him reverse engineering sections of a craft, a UFO that they called the sports model, that he nicknamed the sports model. And he took out George Knapp and Lear to the desert where they had these UFOs go up at Area 51, and he proved on a couple occasions he took a group out and showed them the nights that these craft went up. So people actually went out with him and seen these UFOs go up in the sky. However, when you dig into Bob Lazar, he said he went to MIT. There's no evidence that he ever been to MIT. There's no evidence that he was a nuclear physicist. There's no evidence of a lot of things. However, back in the 80s, he said that element 115 is what powered these craft. Element 115 wasn't on the periodic table of elements until a couple of years ago. So how did he know that? He also said that these craft, when they go up and then they turn on their belly and fly away. Well, that wasn't proven until the Tic Tac video in 2015. That was the first time we caught a visual of how these craft actually go up, turn on their belly, and take off. So a lot of things that he said came to fruition, especially how you got into the facility. He said you would put your hand on a device, and it was like an X-ray that would measure the bone density. It was a bone density scanner. And nobody knew about that back then. And then, you know, that was also true. So a lot of things he said were true, and a lot of things he said on the fence. So when it comes to Bob Lazar, you just have to watch his story, and you have to make up your own mind on it. I think the guy's credible myself. I think his story's amazing. When it comes to Jeremy Corbell, I think he adds a lot of bullshit into the mix to make this story more exciting for everyone. But there is truth, underlining truth there. But when Jeremy tells the story, there's about this much truth and there's this much bullshit added in. That's how I look at that. But Bob, I think Bob's totally credible.
It almost does sound like an Ed Lorraine type of deal, because all those researches they got on, those were real researches, real stories of places they went to. Now, did everything happen as they said it happens there? Like you said, there's probably a little bit of exaggeration, bullshit, but they were there.
Well, let me say this real quick. I'm friends with Jim Goodall. We all know Jim Goodall, right? When Jim Goodall was in the military, he walked into an office in the Naval Department because he had Bob Lazar's pay stub in his pocket. Jim walked in, spoke to a Lieutenant JG, which is a lieutenant junior grade for the Navy. And that lieutenant said, stay right here. He walked into the office behind him, got the general. Told Jim, you can come in now. The general's going to see you. Now, Jim was just looking to see where this office was so he could return the pay stub. Well, the general took the pay stub from Bob Lazar, put it in the shredder, and said, you were never to talk about this. This never happened. Now get out of my office. And Jim snapped a salute, yes, sir, and left. So if Bob Lazar was a bullshit artist, A, how would Jim get in a meeting with a 2-star general? And B, why would he shred the pay stub of Bob Lazar and say, you were never here, this never happened, you never seen this, this conversation did not happen. So, and I believe Jim Goodall, he's very credible. Very credible.
Now, do you know of, and I know this might be hard, you know, especially in the morning, is there like a one documentary that he's done that you would recommend people to see of Bob to check out first? I know that he has a lot on Discovery Plus. There's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the one with Joe Rogan was my favorite. I mean, not documentary, but like if you go watch Joe Rogan, he interviewed Bob. That was a really good interview. There's so many. The guy Jeremy Corbell did one. I mean, it was all right. I mean, there's so many, man. You just type Bob Lazar documentary into Google. I mean, 100 are going to pop up. You take your pick.
That's what I mean.
They're all basically the same storyline. Yeah.
And some of those documentaries are basically the exact same documentary. It's just another company does, and they chop it up a little differently with different footages, but the same stories.
My favorite person, if you go back to like 1989 when Bob Lazar came out and gave his press conference with George Knapp, he even put his name under an alias. They were calling him Dennis in the beginning because he didn't want to lose his Area 51 clearance. They had him blacked out and shadowed when he did his first interview. So go back into 89 and look up Bob Lazar and see when he first spoke about this shit. I mean, you're talking in the 80s, this guy came out, and a lot of things he said came true. So
I'm not playing conspiracy here, but what if one of the ways to try to make the guy look crazy is to erase some of his records?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, there is a trail. He did go somewhere. I'm not MIT. I don't know. You know, well, you can easily trace people's lives. Good investigators can. So what if he really did and they erased it?
Well, one thing, and I'm going to piggyback on my good friend Stephen Cambion from Truth Seekers said, well, how did they erase his picture out of every yearbook at MIT that he was in? And when Stephen Cambion said that, that opened my eyes up like, holy shit, I never thought of that. How did they get what did the CIA or the Men in Black sneak into everybody's house that went to MIT,
True.
Take all their yearbooks and switch them out with new ones with Bob's picture out of it? So, but then again, maybe Bob Lazar didn't have money to go to MIT. Maybe he went to a community college and he snuck into MIT and just sat in classes to get the better education on his own time.
What if another
there are
college has
reports
the
that
initials
people
of
drove him to MIT and watched him walk into the building. So, but I mean, it's a crazy story, man.
Well, and honestly, no, I went to college. I know Connor went to college. And all that, and going to college does not guarantee. You went to college, and college does not guarantee that you're going to be better finding UFOs, Bigfoots, none of that. So a college is not really, to me, doesn't even matter to me with an investigator who's been to college or not. Even though we all went to college, it's easy for us to say, yeah, I think you should go to college. It makes you a better investigator and stuff.
No, it just makes you more employable to show that you have a college education. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
It's just eye candy on paper. It's all colleges.
That's what it is.
Real world experience, I would take over college any day.
I'm curious what Connor thinks of Bob. What do you think of Bob?
Yeah, you know, on these deep dives that they wipe everything. So I definitely think that all the stuff that he came forward with that ended up coming true is so compelling. So I think he was on to something. These deep underground military bases have cities underneath, working new states and continents. So I think the wormhole even goes deeper than what has came forward.
Yes.
And of course, they try to get most of the people that will just go on the surface. They're like, oh, he's a hoax. They don't take him serious. But I definitely think there's something to it. But man, it's very interesting that we're just two steps away from pretty much the biggest name in UFOs, you know, because Mr. Goodall is so accessible, and then he was involved firsthand. Like that's remarkable. It's
Jim Goodall,
we're one away from the news,
is a legend, and he's one of the kindest men you'll ever meet in your life. You can get in touch with Jim at any time and say, hey man, I want to have you on my show to have a chat. Jim will be there. He's not one of those people that are like, you're too small for me. No, he's a stand-up guy. He's a very educated guy. He's a lovely person. I enjoy his company, and I highly recommend checking anything Jim Goodall did out. He's just awesome. Love the guy.
Yeah,
for sure. And just by vibes, Bob Lazar, he seems just like an authentic dude. Jeremy Corbell, he definitely seems a little bit like Hollywood. But of course, Lazar has the data. He's gonna let it go to any platform that can get it.
Don't get me wrong. We're all guilty of trying to embellish a little bit to make our shows more, you know, pleasable for everybody, right? We're all guilty of that. However, Jeremy Corbell, like fucking guy films airplanes, you know, changes the setting on and makes them look triangular. He's like, there they are, just swarming UFOs. Meanwhile, it's fucking drones. I mean, the guy shows a lot of bullshit.
You know,
my personal opinion.
You know, my show, your show, we put some time into an intro and ending thing, you know, to make it look more attractive. So yeah, we all do it, and there's nothing wrong with it.
And I'm so glad, Eric, that you did this show today like this, because it's going to segue right into my show at noon. I have a bunch of celebrities I have on there too that are going to talk about aliens. Are they walking and living among us? So this was perfect today.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, you know, that was the last video I'm showing for today. Like I said, it's a two-headed sword. You know, one end, you know, when we hear celebrities believe in this kind of stuff, and a lot of times we shut down, like they can't believe in it. This is ours. And I get what they're saying too. And like Anthony, I get what you're saying earlier in the show, how they do flood social media. They kind of take away from
the little guy
of fans, because once you have a regular level fan who likes us, but here's I love Keanu Reeves, but if Keanu Reeves did a show every single day on YouTube,
done.
Not like Dina P, Akasha Chris, Terry Brown. I'm talking, but there be percentages of people that will leave your live show if Keanu Reeves had a live show at the same time as you.
Yep,
it's just a fact. And he basically had to do nothing. He just had to play the movie called My Private Own Idaho, Matrix, and all that. And they automatically gain the people because they think they have more knowledge because they play in the movies, not knowing that there's actors. Now, I respect them for coming out saying they believe in this stuff. I love that. But I see both sides of the story. But all because, you know, when Dan Aykroyd speaks, I'm going to listen. I believe in him. I'm not going to push him away just because he's just an actor from Canada that plays in Ghostbusters. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The man's parents were paranormal investigators. He came from a paranormal family.
Right. So the man is a genius hiding in a comics body.
Yes.
I mean, the guy's a genius when it comes to ufology, paranormality. You're talking about cryptid. The guy is a genius if you listen to that man speak.
And listen, Brendan Shaw thinks the guy's the photo fraud. He has every right to his opinion. Everybody has their own rights to their opinions, and nobody should be shot down unless you're being an asshole about it.
Right.
You know, I you know, just recently, I know Connor got hit with another channel saying shit about him. Another channel says shit about me. I know, Anthony, you show me some stuff of channels talking shit about people. There are people like that.
That's right.
You know, there are people like that. And we don't know. Is it jealous? Are they mad because they're gaining ground? You know,
I think that just some people...
Or are they just bad people?
Yeah, some people like drama. They feed off that. They have no good content of their own, and they just take all the bullshit that happens in the community and they make a show out of it. And some people feed off that negativity. It's like anything else. There's good and bad in everything, and ufology, paranormality, cryptid stories. We're no different from it either. So if it works in the real world, it works here too. So I mean,
yeah.
You know,
and I'm kind of
try to steer away from all that shit, you know.
And I'm kind of doing. I titled this show on purpose because I'm doing an experiment.
What's up, Eddie?
I'm doing an experiment, and I'm really curious what the turnout's going to be, because anytime you put anything of Hollywood onto a thumbnail and stuff, you get less views. And if right now, if people think I'm crazy, I'm going to show you guys something real quick. I felt like the show we did 2 days ago, Anthony, was kicked ass 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Was kicked ass. But
Very
the title
good time.
was, would 11 from Stranger Things be considered a mutant? Because we did the story about the EVP and that. But because
Great
I
show.
put 11 from Stranger Things, let's look at this. Fantastic show.
Yeah.
153 views. We did a show yesterday about Ed Lorraine, more known. That's not they're TV in a certain way. 324. Both shows were great, but people, once they see actors, actresses on thumbnails or within the story, they will not watch the video. I'm curious because today is called Famous People Who Believes in It. I bet you this will be a low turnout because of the title. Now, if I would have, I'm serious, if I would have retitled it something about people don't believe Bob Lazar or something, it'll probably get a lot more views. I guarantee it.
Well,
it's
not only that, Eric.
experiment
It's YouTube pushing the shows out into the algorithm. They don't do it for the smaller channels. Not saying your channel's small, but
it's true.
We don't have no 100,000 subscribers. Therefore, we're nobody to them. We're peons. So
it's true. But I've seen certain percentages of people that does do respond to comments and all that. I see them with shows, but I've noticed with certain shows that has a picture of a star or not, they're not there.
Yeah.
So they're there, and it's
I have
sad.
Lawrence Fishburne on mine today because I have something from him on my show that blew my mind when I seen it. And hey, you know what? If you don't like the celebrity that's on my thumbnail, well, then don't watch my show. You know, tough shit. It's my show. We're going to do our show the way we like to do our show. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. That's it, man.
And
you know,
I love our conversations today about Bob Lazar and you know, the Williams stuff.
I love all our conversations every day. It's good, healthy conversation.
Every day.
And if
but
I may,
unfortunately, people do judge book by its cover, and this is kind of an experiment fun for me to check out today.
If I could just say one more thing real quick before we go. Today's Andy's last day on the show for a couple months because he got the new job. I'd really appreciate it if everybody could just stop by at 12 noon Eastern in 1 hour and just say what's up. It would mean so much to us if we broke our normal, like our normal numbers are like 50 to 60 people in the chat. If we could break that today, man, for Andy, I'd be so grateful. And then moving forward, we're going to have guest people hosting with us. Eric, Connor, Akashi, Chris, Ron, Cosmic Neighbors, you know, my flock will hop on and whoever else is interested. But, you know, let's make our shows great. Let's all support each other. Let's make the community strong by helping each other. That's what this is all about. It's not about the negativity because that gets you nowhere. It's all about supporting each other. That's why we'll call the UFO Paranormal community. So let's be an actual community and love and respect and support each other.
And guys, I am doing a show tomorrow, but I don't think I'm going to do one on Friday because I'm going to be out all night on a concert. I don't know if I'm going to have time to set something up and get up extra early in the morning because I'm going to be out all night. Actually, I do got to get back a certain time because I'm pretty bad father, I guess. First day of school, my daughter's going to school and I'm taking to a concert with me, and then she has to go back to school on Friday. Hell no, I'm an awesome parent. Now, beyond that, Connor, what you got coming up?
I'm off for the next few days, so I am going to get at it. There's a place in Apalachicola, Florida called the Gibson Inn that is really haunted because these two girls, they used to make fun of this old hag in the swamp, and then the old hag cursed the two girls, so now they're forever stuck in that famous hotel. And then there's a movie called They Bite. It was released in 1996 about these sea creatures that would come out of the Gulf of Mexico to kill humans and mate with humans. And it was filmed actually at that hotel. So I think I'm going to stop by there, work up a little bit of sweat. There's a bunch of famous haunted places like in the city, and then I'm going to go swimming.
Cool.
That's awesome. So beyond that, guys, that was the show today. And
Chad Spitz in the house. What's up, Chad?
If I give you guys kind of a soft date for episode 4, probably going to get it like Monday or Tuesday, and I don't think I'll have time to put it out this upcoming Wednesday. I'm moving the launch to show the cartoons to Sunday nights. Get back that old X-File feeling, Sunday night of an X-File thing. And then that would technically give myself, Connor, and stuff like, and Anthony, like even more days in case we feel like we could add some more stuff, because sometimes we do not rush on purpose, but try to get it out for a Wednesday so much that we know we can add some stuff. So we're not this Sunday, but I'm looking forward to launching it next Sunday. Because we get it back, we got to put in the words. It gives us, and since we got more people back in this one versus the last one, like the second one, we had a lot of people. It's probably going to take a little longer sometimes to get all the voices from people. Unfortunately, that's the hardest part, is to get everybody together, do voices, and to get people to get voices. What's that?
When are we recording?
I should be getting it by September 4th, maybe sooner. And once I get it, that's why I'm saying not this Sunday, but the premiere date, I'm trying to shoot it for next Sunday.
Can you highlight that Akashi Chris thing and throw that up on the big board for everybody?
Yeah, because even Chad, he's back in it. There's a lot of people that are back in it. I love having a lot of people back in it, but it's also harder to get all the voices back. So
timing, different time zones with everybody.
Different time zone, but it's fun. It's fun because when you get done with it, it's like, wow, we actually did this with everybody from around the world, with no studio, no nothing, just with computers, laptops, phone recordings. I mean,
and it comes out great. Can you highlight that Akashi Chris comment for me, buddy?
And so beyond that, guys, everybody, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hey, y'all, save the date. Nah.